I know some of you on the panel will disagree, but I have been surprised because I like to do my own unscientific surveys. I ask people questions about this. I'll ask taxi drivers, I'll ask, whatever, the people on the subway. And I have heard millennials, I've heard men, I've heard women who have said, I don't think a woman can be president of the United States. And I am always shocked by that. You guys can sit here and tell me you've not heard that this campaign season.
I've heard the opposite. I've heard I'm voting for her because she's a woman.
The president of the United States, to me, should be a man, not a female.
They want to see the first woman president.
I don't believe there should be a woman president.
I mean, Don, I'm not denying that there is.
Wait, hold on, I'll let you finish. Have you heard this?
Women shouldn't be in leadership.
I haven't heard it, to be honest with you.
Women should not be in authority over a man.
Have you heard it, Brad?
I have heard it, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Kaylee.
Trump that bitch.
I was just going to say, I'm not denying that sexism doesn't exist in any form, but what I am denying is that there's this whole slew of voters who aren't going to vote on her because they don't want to see a woman president.
We cannot vote for Hillary Clinton.
I think they want the right woman.
Because women are not to have authority over men.
I think, look, Republican voters, we'd love to see someone like Michelle Bachmann in that place, or
the results of the 2016 presidential election sent shockwaves throughout the world. Despite its historic nature, a Hillary Clinton presidency was considered to be an inevitability right up until the vote count started pouring in on election night. Anytime a presumed inevitability is evaded, there is never a shortage of theories to explain why. This time was no different. Depending on who you ask, you'll probably hear some variation of one or more of these theories. None of them are universally held, and all of them are controversial. However, it seems to me that there's only one theory that you're not allowed to have. Posit sexism as a possible explanation, and you will likely be dismissed for, quote, playing the gender card, or copping out, or failing to understand what this election truly meant. So, to those people who say sexism played no role in the election, let's put that theory to the test with 7 hypothetical scenarios. Number 7. Children.
Would either of you name one positive thing that you respect in one another?
Mr. Trump, would you like to go first?
Well, I certainly will, because I think that's a very fair and important question. Look, I respect his children.
If you believe that a female presidential candidate could have 5 children from 3 different marriages, 2 of which ended in divorce due to the female candidate's infidelity, and pay no political price for it, then you're right. Sexism played no role in the 2016 presidential election. Number 6. Incest.
Now, Donna, what does Tiffany have of yours and what does Tiffany have of Marla's?
Well, I think that she's got a lot of Marla. She's really a beautiful baby, and she's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will tell.
If there weren't, you wouldn't have an issue with it then. If they were using her to...
I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird!
If you believe that a female presidential candidate could publicly express sexual interest in her son and paid no political price for it, then you're right. Sexism played no role in the 2016 presidential election. Number 5. General creepiness.
Thursday night. You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
These recently unearthed comments from 2005 on the Howard Stern show, Trump admitted to pushing the boundaries of his power as the owner of the Miss USA beauty pageants.
I'll go backstage before a show. Yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it.
He just came strolling right in. There was no second to put a robe on or any sort of clothing or anything. Some girls were topless, other girls were naked.
She was 18 years old at the time, and she describes how Donald Trump allegedly walked in on her.
Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay?
To have the owner come waltzing in when we're naked or half naked in a very physically vulnerable position, and then to have the pressure of the people that work for him telling us to go fawn all over him, go walk up to him, talk to him, get his attention.
And you see these incredible looking women And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Ironically, the theme of the pageant that year, empowering women.
If you believe that a female presidential candidate could be on tape expressing future sexual interest in a 10-year-old boy or discussing how she gets away with watching young men change their clothes and still pay no political price for it, then you're right. Sexism played no role in the 2016 presidential election. Number 4. Hot mic confessions.
She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there. And she was married. Then all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look.
She's your girl's hot as shit. In the purple.
I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
If you believe that a female presidential candidate could be caught on tape bragging about grabbing men, quote, by the balls, end quote, without asking for their consent because she is a, quote, star, end quote, and pay no political price for it, then you're right. Sexism played no role in the 2016 presidential election. Number 3. Generally sociopathic behavior.
And these 4 very courageous women have asked to be here, and it was our honor to help them. But that was something that happened. If you look at Bill Clinton, far worse, minor words, and his was action. His was what he's done to women. There's never been anybody in the history of politics in this nation that's been so abusive to women. So you can say any way you want to say it, but Bill Clinton was abusive to women. 4 of them here tonight. So don't tell me about words. I apologize for those words, but it is things that people say.
If you believe that a female presidential candidate could hold a press conference with men that her opponent's current wife had either cheated on him with or been accused of sexually assaulting during their marriage, and then invite those same men as her guests to one of the debates and pay no political price for it, then you're right. Sexism played no role in the 2016 presidential election. Number 2. Sexual assault.
Donald Trump is facing an avalanche of new accusations from women who are coming forward to claim he kissed and fondled them.
The first of 8 accusers publicly came forward Wednesday night of this week.
That avalanche of accusations against Donald Trump, including 2 women speaking out to the New York Times, detailing how they were groped by Trump.
6 women are going public today with stories that echo what Trump himself said in that notorious hot mic video.
If you believe that a female presidential candidate could be accused of sexual assault by 12 men on 12 separate occasions spanning 3 decades after being caught on tape admitting to doing exactly that and paid no political price for it, then you're right. Sexism played no role in the 2016 presidential election. And number 1, history. If you believe that it is just pure coincidence that in our nation's 240-year history, we have had 45 male presidents and 0 female presidents, and that this isn't evidence of any kind of gender bias, then you're right. Sexism played no role in the 2016 presidential election. So what does this mean? Does it mean that Hillary Clinton only lost because she's a woman? Does it mean that Donald Trump only won because he's a man? No. These 7 hypothetical scenarios just highlight a disturbing trend in recent American culture that found what seems to be endless oxygen in the toxic wasteland of the 2016 presidential election. Being called a racist, a sexist, or a homophobe is now worse than actually being a racist, or being a sexist, or being a homophobe. But ignoring sexism, or any other ism, whether blatant or implicit, isn't helping anyone.